Joining me now, on the scene, former homicide detective, criminal defense attorney, and Fox News contributor Ted Williams. Ted, you have been on the ground for us. What can you tell us tonight?
Well, Lawrence, I can tell you that it's like an emotional roller coaster here. Emotions are very high. This is a small, close-knit college community. And everywhere I've gone today, I've seen women weeping. One woman told me, "These are not my children, but I loved them like they were my children and wanted to embrace them." Throughout the day, we've had law enforcement coming and going at the house over my shoulder here. Now, Lawrence, if I could, let me just take you back to Sunday morning about 1:45. At that time, all 4 victims are back in this house. Now, there are 2 entrances to this home. One through that front door that has a coded lock. We've learned that at times that coded lock would be left off because a lot of people would come to this location for parties. And then there's a sliding back door. And Lawrence, there were 2 individuals in this home that was left untouched. Somebody the next day, around 9 hours after this incident was supposed to have taken place, called law enforcement. When law enforcement got here, they found that the door was unlocked. There was no forced entry. But, Lawrence, I can further tell you, at some stage there was an autopsy performed. The medical examiner said that there was blood all over this place, all on the walls, on the floors. It was a very vicious attack, and the weapon that the medical examiner said was a knife. And this is significant, Lawrence, because if there was that much blood evidence there, and it seems as though there was some defensive wounds on some of these victims' bodies. And so as a result of that, it shows that they fought back. And therein is where the law enforcement may very well be able to find some evidence that will lead them to this perpetrator or perpetrators, because we don't know if it was one or more individuals.
Yeah. Are we hearing any suspects yet? Because right now, all we hear is crickets right now. And the community, just from the reporting that you've done for us, our producers that are on the ground, they are afraid. And people don't even want to come on TV because they feel like they can be the next target. So are you hearing any leads from the authorities?
Well, we're not hearing any leads from the authorities. Unfortunately, at the beginning of this investigation, there was some misinformation that was put out in the community that they could go about their business and that they were safe. And then law enforcement had to walk that back. And law enforcement had to say that the killer or killers is still out here to the community. The community, as you said, Lawrence, is very much on edge at this time. So we're dealing with an unknown killer. I am sure that the physical evidence, Lawrence, that is being collected, that physical evidence could lead them to the perpetrator or perpetrators of this crime.
Ted, why was that walked back? What are you hearing on the ground? I mean, that's a significant move to walk that statement back that everyone should carry on as usual, everybody's safe. And then they say the killer is still at large. We don't know who it is. We don't know if it was multiple killers. And that everyone is really not safe. So why did they walk that back?
Well, I think they walked it back. Look, this is a small town where you have the Moscow Police Department, and it's rare that there is a homicide even in this town. So those officers were not experienced. And so what happened is, Lawrence, they brought in the Idaho State Police Department and the FBI got involved. And at that stage, you had professionals who knew more about running an investigation. There's something else that our viewers should know, Lawrence, and that is that one of the Idaho State investigators has said that these individuals were targeted. So they definitely know a great deal more. What evidence of these individuals being targeted, they have not shared that with law enforcement, as well as who made the call the next day or the 911 call. They have not shared that. We don't know whether the perpetrator or perpetrators came out that door here or they came out of a sliding door. But wherever they would have come out of, Lawrence, they would have had a great deal of blood on them. So I'm sure that they are asking individuals in the community, if someone came home and they had a cut on their about their body, or they had clothes that they immediately took off and tried to wash, they want to know about those individuals.
Ted Williams, thanks so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.